Great to see you.
Hello, thank you so much for having me. I've loved listening to everyone so much. Could stay up
Oh, I'm
till
so
8
glad.
a.m.
Okay, good. We won't make you do that. What kind of scene partner was Ellen Burstyn? That must have been magical.
Yeah, it really was. It was one of those scenes that I honestly neither of us had any idea how to play, I think. I think we were both quite worried about it and there was like no plans. And it had developed throughout the whole we kind of managed to film sort of consecutively, chronologically. And then on the day, I just knew that there was going to be some kind of pressure valve released. I didn't know what it was. We were on her close up. We were on her first, and I just screamed at her, but it just came out. And I remember thinking, I hope that's okay with her. Um, and of course, it's Ellen, so she just sort of stood up and just like whacked it back. And then we just had this amazing morning where we were really free to kind of um, I don't even know what the word is, just sort of tear into each other a bit. And so that was surreal for
Yeah.
me because it's her and she's always been just such a huge inspiration. So once she gave me permission, it was cool.
Obviously, so many people are fascinated by the opening scene of this film, which I've heard is 15 minutes. I've heard it's 20 minutes long. The point is, it's a very long, arduous scene that you I think did a half a dozen or so times. I'm curious to know as when in the process of talking to the filmmakers or reading the script were you told that was required? Was that written in the script? Was it in a meeting that you took? And what was your reaction when you heard that's how it was going to be?
So obviously the birth was kind of written as 30 pages. It wasn't in the script that it was going to be one take, but as soon as I met Cornell, I flew to Budapest to meet him just to say I really love it. And I just wanted him to know that kind of in person in a way. And he mentioned it. I think I went through an array of probably like six different feelings like, shit, I'm not a mother. I haven't given birth. That means if you can't edit, the scene is, I think, 25 minutes. And I thought if I get a second of it off, majority of the population of anyone that might watch it would know, and then the film would be ruined. And so I was terrified. And then I thought, actually, it sort of started to dawn on me that maybe because it would be, I guess, a bit like a play, and there's something so terrifying but so freeing about walking out of the wings, like dreading it, and then getting out there. And because there's an audience and you can't stop, you have to keep going. You don't have a minute to judge yourself or like to question or second guess what you're doing. You just have to sort of do it. And I realized actually that could be a massive gift because then thought that the idea of having to, um, you know, get in the bathtub, like have costume fiddle around, do you know what I mean? Like shoot that bit and then have a break and then like go to the sofa and or go for lunch and then, I just thought that will feel false. And my biggest thing was I just with with something that was as I think beautiful a gesture to women to have a quarter of screen time on just a woman giving birth when we've seen a million different deaths on screen in every glorified or horrible or profound or delicate, and we've so rarely seen birth, especially not for, essentially it could have been 40 minutes. I think they were quite open to what it would be. So in a way I thought maybe I have half a chance, in fact, if it's allowed to just flow. And like it's such a beautiful trust of actors to go, okay, we rehearsed it on an iPhone the night before, just walking around, so we didn't really have any prep.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy to think that that's like a high wire act. The whole performance feels like that to me. Has it changed your attitude or viewpoint toward the idea of giving birth in real life one day?
Yeah, because I started off watching like every documentary I could find in like any kind of real raw footage of birth, and there really was nothing apart from a few like clips of an Instagram, but mostly it's so edited. It's sort of made pleasant in a way. It takes out all the sort of the scary stuff or the gory stuff, or which is also the beautiful stuff because it's like it's what we all came through in a way. Um, and so I ended up writing to obstetricians, and one replied and allowed me to come and shadow her on a labour ward. And before I went in, another obstetrician said, "Oh, you don't want to do that. If you do that, it will make you not want to. Like, you need to be careful because if you see someone do it for real, it'll make you not want to do it." And I thought, well, at this point, I don't care because I'm so scared of getting this birth wrong, having had no knowledge of it at all. But I went on the ward, and I spent many days there with the midwives who kind of crawled all around the room and showed me all the positions. And I'm still trying to work out, like, yeah, but when does your water break? Can break any time, and how long between contractions? And then on the last day I was there, this absolute miracle happened where this incredible woman allowed me to watch her, and actually, it was so like mind blowing to me. I couldn't believe that's what it actually is like, and how powerful and immense she was, and what she did. It's actually made me really excited for it, and even the acting of it was like a dress rehearsal in some ways. I think I don't know when I'll have kids, but I'd love to one day, and even more so because of the film.
All right. Before I let you go, just real quick, is there a performance that you've seen in your life that you drew on I mean, this is a true tour de force that you deliver, in my opinion. Is there like a Ellen Burstyn or Jenna Rollins or performance from the past that you
Mm.
looked to for this?
Uh, yeah, it was a combination. I thought instantly when I read it, I thought of Three Colors Blue and Juliette Binoche. And I was always been one of my favorite performances because it's so unusual and so unstereotypical, like unarchetypal of the grieving woman in a movie, like on the floor, like wailing, like some kind of, like this, which yeah, I just wanted it to be sort of an unusual um version somehow. And also Jenna Rollins, Woman Under the Influence. I love her energy in that, the kind of like wildness of the sort of ferocity of her. I've always, she's been like, again, one of my biggest inspirations. So I feel like when I was growing up, she was this sort of figure of almost giving me permission to be brave in scenes, somehow, because she always is, and very
Mm.
unself-conscious, and yeah, that energy, I sort of, I was really drawn to, and I had no idea if I could even remotely get close to it, but it was something that made me want to do it.
I say you did it. Thank you so much. And I'll see you in a few minutes after Tahar and Zendaya. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you too.